Watch how I transform this beautiful fabric into a stunning A-line button down gown with a collar in its easiest way possible. So let's get started. So this is the Ankara fabric we are working with. It is 5.5 yards of Ankara fabric. So we folded the fabric into two, okay, because we are cutting the front first of all. So we used the circumference of the bust plus 5 inches seam allowance. So what we have total is 47 divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance plus extra 5 inches seam allowance. So now I'm going to draw the line for the bottom blanket. So I had to mark 2.5 inches first of all. After marking 2.5 inches, I drew a straight line. Next, I'm going to take the half length of the gown, which is 17 plus 1 inch for the joining, which gives me total of 18 inches. After marking 18 inches, next I'm going to take the neck width of 3.5. I'm supposed to use 2.5, but my client says she doesn't want the shirt collar to hold her neck area, okay? So next I took the full back of 7.5 plus 3/4 inches seam allowance. So next I'm taking the armhole area, okay, of 9 inches, which will serve as the chest line. So after marking 9 inches, I drew a straight line, and at that point I had to mark 8 1/4, which is the full back plus 3/4 inches. I drew a straight line. Next, for the neck depth for the front, I'm using 3.5. I'm supposed to use 3 inches for the shirt gown, but because of what the client wanted, I had to use 3.5. So next I took the shoulder slant of 1 and then I drew a straight line. Next, I'm going to divide the armhole circumference by 2 and then marked it and came inwards, okay, by 3/4. I'm going to connect it to the armhole. So next, I'm going to take the bust circumference 47 divided by 4, which gives me 11 3/4 plus 2 inches seam allowance for ease, which I marked. You can make use of 1 inch for ease, okay? So after marking, next I am going to take true waist circumference, okay? So divide your true waist circumference by 4 and then mark and add your seam allowance, then connect it. So after connecting, the next thing I'm going to do now is to take my dart, okay? So before I take the dart, the upper part, the shoulder area, I am going to come down by half an inch, okay? I'm supposed to come down by 1 inch because it's a shirt gown. The front is always shorter than the back. So I came down by half an inch because I'm using half an inch, okay, to join the shoulder. So I came down by half an inch. While for the back, I am going to add this half an inch plus 1 inch, which will give me total of 1.5. So next I'm going to take the dart measurement. To take the dart measurement, I'm coming down from the bust point by 1 inch, okay? So her bust point is 10.5. I'm taking my dart from 11.5, so I'm going to mark 11.5 at that point. After marking, I'm going to draw a line. So I'm going to place my tape from the center front and then I'm going to mark 4 inches, which is the bust band measurement. I'm going to connect the line. After connecting the line, I'm placing my tape at that true waist and mark half inch and then connect. So after connecting, we are done. It is time for us to cut what we have all out. So now we are going to take the back measurement. Okay, so we came down by 2 inches from the starting point and drew a straight line. So we are now going to take the half length for the back. I marked 17 inches. I'll draw a straight line after marking 17 inches. So now the next thing we are going to do now is for us to take the full back measurement of 8 1/4, which is 7.5 for the full back plus 3/4 inch for the fixing of the sleeve. Then we took 9 inches, which is the chest line, and then we marked 8 1/4 and then connected it to get the armhole. Next, I'm coming down by half an inch for the shoulder slant. Okay, after marking half an inch, I am going to mark the neck width of 3.5, just the way we marked for the front. I explained earlier it's supposed to be 2.5. Next, for the back neck depth, I am going to take half an inch. Okay, so I'm going to connect the half an inch to the neck width, and then the next thing I am going to do now is to come up by 3 inches at that armhole area and then make a curve. So after making the curve, I'm going to impute the bust circumference of 47 divided by 4. I'm going to mark what I have plus my seam allowance of 2 inches. Then the true waist circumference divided by 4 plus 2 inches seam allowance. Then I'm going to connect. After connecting, the next thing I'm going to take my bust band measurement of 4 inches and then I'm going to impute my dart. So the dart is starting from the chest line to the true waist. So I took half inch at the down part and then connected it. So after that, I am going to go to the neck width. I'm going to add 1.5 inches. Remember I explained that the back is longer than the front, so I marked 1.5 and then I connected it to the shoulder slant. So after connecting it, we are done with our marking. It is time for us to cut what we have all. So if you've watched up to this point, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell so that you will not miss out on any of our beautiful tutorials. We upload new videos every single week. So now we folded the fabric into two again so that we'll be able to cut the A-line gown. So on fold you have 26 inches because it's an A-line gown. So after folding by 2, the next thing we are going to do is to bring the upper part. Okay, remember the length of the gown is 60 minus the upper part of 17 inches is giving us about 43 inches. So when I checked, the measurement was enough, so I had to place the upper part. Okay, see what I'm doing. I'm placing the upper part. Our bottom blanket is on it 2 inches and that of 1 inch. So place your upper fabric to the down part. Okay, to get that point, see what I did. I marked it the true waist. Okay, the true waist circumference. I'm going to remove the 1 inch for the dart because that 1 inch is not going to affect the down part. So from what I have marked at that point, I am going to place my tape in an A-line manner. Just see what I am doing. I'm going to slant it all the way down to the tip of the gown and then I am going to draw my line. See what I'm doing? After drawing the line, I am going to take the length of the gown, which is 60 minus the upper part of 17 inches, which gives me 43 plus 1 inch seam allowance, which gives me 44 inches. So I'm going to mark 44 inches all the way around. So after marking, I am going to connect the lines. Okay, so next at the upper part, I'm just drawing that straight line. I came down by half an inch at the upper part. Okay, and then I connected. So the next thing is to put an inbuilt pocket. So I came down by 2 inches. From that 2 inches, I came down by 8 inches. So from that 8 inches, okay, see what I'm doing. I'm making a curve to make a pocket. This is optional. If you want to, fine. If you don't want to, it is still fine. So after marking, we are done. It is time for us to cut what we have all out. So we are done cutting. Okay, so now I'm going to mark 2.5 inches, which is for the button blanket. Okay, so I'm marking 2.5 all the way down. After marking it, I'm going to notch it at the down part, and I will notch at the upper part as well. Okay, so see what I am doing. Just watch. I had to notch. I will notch the down part as well. After notching, I'm going to use my pin. Okay, I will fold it inwards. See what I'm doing. I had to fold that 2.5 inches inwards. I'm going to use my pin to secure it all the way up. Okay, after folding to enable me cut the back panel. You see now I've folded it inwards. So the back, now we are going to cut exactly what we have on this one. So this is to make it easier than for us to mark. So I had to fold the fabric into two, and then when I measured, I had 23 inches. We have removed the allowance for the bottom blanket. Okay, so I'm going to place the front panel on this one now that I have folded. So see how I am placing it. So after placing it, we are going to cut exactly what we have all out, because we've removed the difference between the front and the back, which is the button blanket. So I'm going to cut what I have out. So it is time for us to cut the sleeve. So for us to achieve that, we have to fold the leftover fabric into two and later fold it into four, and took the length of the sleeve 13.5 and the circumference 13.5, and then at the upper part I marked 6 inches. So from that 6 inches, see what I did. From that line of 13.5, I came down by 3 inches or 2.5, make a curve to that point. Okay, so after marking, the next thing is to extend that armhole area a little bit and connect it. So from the center front part, okay, I came up by 3 inches. You can use 2.5, and then at the down, I went from the center front inwards by 2.5. I made a curve. I just want to create a little opening at the center front, so that we are going to case the down part with a little gathers and a piece of rope that you saw on the sleeve. I am done cutting, so it is time for us to sew. So I don't want this video to be too long, so I'm going to upload the part 2 separately. So watch out for part 2, where I give you the detailed sewing process. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share. See you in the next one.